Thank you for joining us for this information session. Tonight, we will be discussing the online and part-time graduate programs in applied physics offered through the Whiting School of Engineering at Johns Hopkins University. My name is Cheryl Williams, and I am the Recruitment and Marketing Specialist for the Whiting School of Engineering. With me tonight is Dr. Harry Charles. Dr. Charles is the chair for our programs in applied physics and is a member of the principal professional staff at Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory. He is a fellow and former president of the International Microelectronics and Packaging Society, a life fellow of IEEE, and a past member of the Board of Governors of IEEE's Component Packaging and Manufacturing Technology Society. He has published over 210 papers on electronic devices and packaging, along with 17 patents and several pending patent applications. He teaches a number of courses for our programs, including Introduction to Electronic Packaging, Materials Science, Alternate Energy Technologies. He also heads the Applied Physics Laboratories Education Center, where we host the majority of our on-site classes. Dr. Charles, would you like to say hello?
Yes, welcome to the information session on applied physics.
All right, thank you. For tonight's presentation, we'll start off with an introduction to Johns Hopkins Engineering. Next, Dr. Charles will discuss with you our online and part-time degree programs in applied physics. Then we'll review some helpful information on tuition and payment options, talk about next steps and important dates, and we'll end with a live question and answer session. If you have any questions at any point in the presentation, please type them into the questions tab on the control panel. If you are joining us via a cell phone or a tablet, simply select the question mark to access the questions section. We'll address all questions at the end of the presentation. So why study engineering at Johns Hopkins University? Johns Hopkins University was founded in 1876 as the nation's first research university. The School of Engineering opened its doors in 1913, and in 1915 it began offering part-time engineering coursework as night classes for technical workers. Since then, we've grown to offer more than 20 master's programs that can be completed part-time. 16 of these programs can be completed entirely online. Our programs are designed by people who thoroughly understand your industry. We like to say that our programs are for engineers by engineers. Our faculty are all expert and working engineers, and our faculty and instructional designers construct new and update existing coursework every year so that it includes the most up-to-date information. In addition to our part-time programs, the Whiting School of Engineering has over 25 research centers and institutes. This includes our strong partnership with the Johns Hopkins Applied Physics Laboratory in Laurel, Maryland. We also offer full-time bachelor's, master's, and PhD programs that are offered in residence at our Homewood campus in Baltimore, Maryland. Our online and part-time programs are led by respected senior engineers from our Applied Physics Laboratory and faculty from our full-time programs. We are ranked in the top 25 best online graduate engineering programs by U.S. News & World Report. And of all the schools that are included in these rankings, we have the largest online part-time student population. So not only will you have lots of fellow students going through a similar learning experience, but these rankings really speak to the quality of our programs regardless of our size, and our school is experienced and well-equipped to help you navigate graduate education as an online student. The degree that you earn studying with us part-time is of the same quality as our full-time degree programs. Your diploma will not say online or part-time. You are eligible and highly encouraged to participate in commencement. And as a graduate, you will be one of more than 28,000 Whiting School alumni and will join our esteemed international alumni community. So that is an overview of who we are and the value of our programs. Now Dr. Charles is going to tell you a little bit more about applied physics. Dr. Charles?
You might ask yourself some questions. Are you looking for something different, cross-discipline, exciting, curious about space, the oceans, the atmosphere, the atoms? You're interested in work involving optics, materials, solid-state fields and waves. just wonder about how the universe and how things work. Interested in nanoparticles, sensors, detectors, superlattices. Need a flexible curriculum that bridges the gap between engineering and physics. Applied physics is the thing you want. We have Master of Science degrees available in applied physics. We also offer postmaster's certificates in applied physics for people that have already completed a master's. Typical degree structure for applied physics is we require 4 core courses. We require 4 program electives and 2 additional electives, which can either be from the program or outside the program. We have concentrations in materials and condensed matter and in photonics. And then a lot of our students follow what we call a general applied physics curriculum, where they select courses from several different areas, from space, underwater, photonics, materials. So a typical core course, what are the core courses? For applied physics, we have 8 of them: math methods, electromagnetics, statistical mechanics, classical mechanics, quantum mechanics, modern physics, principles of optics, and material science. The ones in blue are considered our key core courses. The principles of optics is the precursor course for the photonics option. Material science is the precursor course for the material and condensed matter option. If you were just interested in a general applied physics program, you might take math methods, electromagnetics, statistical mechanics, and classical mechanics or modern physics. If you were focusing yourself on the condensed matter concentration, you'd take math methods, electromagnetics, statistical mechanics, and then, of course, material science as the introductory course into the materials and condensed matter option. Similarly, with photonics, you take math methods, quantum mechanics, principles of optics, and then you select one from 3 courses called Fourier techniques or laser fundamentals and fundamentals of photonics. Those last 3 courses are not applied physics courses. They are courses in the electrical and computer engineering program. We jointly run the photonics option with the electrical and computer engineering program, and so these courses are fully recognized towards your applied physics degree. So you decide you want to follow the photonics option. So here would be your 4 core courses, as we talked about in the previous slide. Then as program electives, you might take computer optical design, optical detectors, optics in MATLAB, quantum information processing. And then, of course, you'd take Fourier techniques in optics or laser fundamentals. And with advisor approval, you may take another course outside this list of courses. The Applied Physics program now offers an online degree. Right now, we have about 13 courses that are available online, including most of the core. We're adding more courses every semester. So if you were to say I needed a complete online program as of fall of 2017, you might take math methods, electromagnetics, quantum mechanics, and modern physics as your core, optical detectors and applications, fundamentals of space systems, physics of remote sensing, and fundamentals of space systems 2. And then there are other online applied physics courses, or you could select some electives from another program, some other online electives. What are our admission requirements? We require a bachelor's degree in science and engineering, 3.0 GPA or higher, previous coursework, vector analysis, general physics, modern physics, intermediate mechanics, intermediate E&M. We do not require a GRE, and if a student has exceptional performance in their undergraduate career, we may waive some of the previous coursework requirements also. The program is available 3 ways: online, and on-site, and of course, fully on-site. The on-site classes are now taught at the APL Center, which is located in Howard County, Maryland. We have many graduates, and I'm proud to say 100% of our graduating AP students over the last 3 to 4 years agree that the content of the curriculum met their professional needs. They were satisfied with the course selection. Their AP degree prepared them well for additional responsibilities in their career. And most of all, they would recommend the AP program to others.
All right. Thank you again, Dr. Charles. I'm going to pick it up from here. We'd like to share with you some information just to help you take this next step. Some of the most common questions that our admissions team gets from prospective students is, what is the tuition and what resources are available to help me pay? So here it is. Our tuition is currently $4,055 a course. Our courses are 3 credits each, so this is the total tuition cost for each 3-credit course. Because our tuition fluctuates every year due to inflation, we encourage students to budget $45,000 total for their degree. In addition to tuition on a semester basis, there are no fees that you have to pay. So there's no technology fee that you will have to pay on a semester basis. Our online and part-time students do not pay a student union fee. We also do not charge a fee to submit your application for admission. So there's no application fee. The only fee that our students pay is a fee at the end of the course of their study with us, known as a graduate's fee. You have a variety of financing options available to you depending on your personal circumstance. I really encourage you to investigate and to take advantage of any education benefits that your employer may offer. I would say the majority of our students, over 90% of our students are currently employed, and most of those students receive some sort of financial assistance from their employer. So contact your supervisor, contact your HR department, see what is available for you. If you are a qualifying U.S. resident or a U.S. citizen, you may be eligible to use financial aid. The financial aid that's available for graduate students is largely unsubsidized loans. So similar to that, you can of course finance your education through a personal loan. And if you are active duty or retired military, you can of course utilize veterans benefits to finance your education. We have a number of active duty and retired military enrolled in our online part-time programs. If you are planning to use veterans benefits, here are some things to keep in mind. The URL that you see here on your screen, ep.jhu.edu/veterans, has some great information on what forms you need to complete and to submit in order to utilize veterans benefits at Johns Hopkins. For students using Chapter 33 post 9/11 benefits, the Department of Veterans Affairs sets an annual cap on tuition for private schools. That cap is $21,970.46. And that's for an entire academic school year. So it includes the fall, spring, and summer semesters, and then renews every fall. 5 courses with us will be just under the cap. So that's if you take maybe 2 courses the fall and the spring semester and then 1 course in the summer. That's 5 total courses, the cost of which is $20,275. 6 courses, if you took 2 courses per semester for 3 semesters consecutively, that would exceed the tuition cap. The cost is $24,330. Johns Hopkins is a Yellow Ribbon school. How Yellow Ribbon works at Johns Hopkins is that it is applied only if the tuition cap is exceeded. And if it is exceeded, qualifying students can receive $1,000 per year. It's awarded on a first-come, first-served basis. The last thing I'd like to mention is that the Harry W. Colmary Veterans Educational Assistance Act of 2017, otherwise known as the Forever GI Bill, was signed into law. This law expands on the veterans education benefits offered through the Chapter 33 post 9/11 GI Bill. For example, it removes the benefit expiration dates for those who were discharged or released from the military on or after January 1st of 2013. So if this is you, you now have an unlimited amount of time to utilize your veterans education benefits. They do not expire. For more information on the Forever GI Bill, I actually encourage you to visit military.com and just search Forever GI Bill. There's a lot of really great information on that site. If you are located outside of the US and are interested in studying with us, here are some helpful tips to keep in mind. International students are, of course, welcome to study with us from their home country through our online programs. Whether you study with us online or on site, here are some additional admissions requirements for these students. International students must submit an international credit evaluation of any credit earned at non-US institutions. We prefer students to go through WES, which is a third-party credit evaluation service for this evaluation. International students also must provide proof of English proficiency via, for example, qualifying scores on a TOEFL exam. On-site students, in order to maintain their F1 visa status, students must enroll full-time, the definition of which you can see here on your screen, as well as provide proof of financial support to cover annual living and education expenses. Next steps and important dates. So if you are interested in enrolling in one of our programs in applied physics, your first step is to submit your application for admissions. You can do this by visiting the URL that you see here on your screen, ep.jhu.edu/apply. After submitting your online application, you'll need to submit your academic transcripts and your professional resume. We have rolling admissions here at Johns Hopkins for our online and part-time students. It typically takes our admissions department and academic departments 4 to 6 weeks from the time that they receive a student's complete application for them to review all of those documents and then issue that applicant a decision letter. So with that timeline in mind, here are some important dates. Our spring registration is already open. It actually opened on October the 26th. And our spring semester begins on January the 29th. So if you are interested in studying with us during the spring 2018 semester, I encourage you to submit your application as soon as possible, ideally well before December 15th. And so that is the end of our prepared portion of our presentation for you today. Now I'd like to open it up for Dr. Charles to answer some of your questions. I see some of them have already come in. First question, is the part-time program accredited? So I can,
yeah, go ahead,
I can start answering this question if you would like. So yes, Johns Hopkins is accredited by, it's a regionally accredited institution, and that includes our part-time and our online programs. Dr. Charles, do you want to share any additional information?
Yeah, I mean, as you know, the university is, as an undergraduate school, is ABET accredited. As a graduate program, only one of our 20 programs has ABET accreditation, and that's systems engineering. But we are accredited by the Maryland Higher Education Council and other regional activities.
All right, great. So we have an attendee with kind of a personal question. Um, Says that I am greatly interested in pursuing my career in quantum computing. My question, whether a degree in applied physics or in electrical and computer engineering would be most appropriate. What are your thoughts?
I think either would work. I think it really depends upon your interest. We offer a course in quantum computing and applied physics. EP offers another one in the computer science program. So, I would think the more physics, the more materials, the more condensed matter information that you gathered in your career in your pursuit of your master's would do you well in seeking a career in quantum computing. Because quantum computing is very heavily physics based, and you really need to understand particles and photons and matter interactions.
All right, wonderful. Next question, and we actually get this question very frequently during our information sessions. How does an online class work? Are lectures recorded live and then made available to students? Dr. Charles?
Now, the program in applied physics, as well as most of our other programs, are what we call asynchronous online. That means a module is released. It's a voice-over PowerPoint module with videos and other things embedded, and the student works on it, works on each module. There are assignments that they post to Blackboard that you send in via Blackboard, which is the course management tool, and you work on it at your leisure. There are no real class hours in the sense, but once a week a new module comes out. The module is then available for the remainder of the term. So it's truly asynchronous. A couple of our programs, not applied physics, but a couple of our others have what they call virtual live, which is synchronous online. There's a physical classroom with a class in it, and then you remote into that classroom. But again, all the slides are posted to Blackboard and they're available.
All right, great.
So most of our online is asynchronous, so you do it at your own pace, but we pace you with a new module each week.
And within those modules, you have recorded lectures, correct, that you have to watch?
There's most of it's voice over PowerPoint.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to see the PowerPoint slides, hear the instructors, but sometimes there's video, sometimes there's other modes of instruction that the particular individual instructor employs. But everything is captured so that you can review it via the Blackboard course management tool.
All right. And those if you're thinking to yourself, oh, having to listen to kind of recorded lectures, those recorded lectures are actually recorded in short bites. So instead of having to kind of sit there and listen to kind of 2 hours of lecture and kind of scan through it, aren't those lectures recorded in kind of 15 to 30-minute chunks
Or shorter.
or shorter?
10-minute, 15-minute, 20-minute bites. Maybe there's a question and answer thing that goes with each one. Maybe there's a problem of homework assignments. So you don't have to sit there for 2.5 hours and listen to a lecture. You do it at your own pace.
So
I would recommend you do one of the modules at a time, one of the 10 or 15-minute modules at the time, but then you don't have to jump immediately to the next one unless you've got time and want to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And so what that does is that gives you kind of like the maximum amount of flexibility. We have students who, they'll carve out time in their day, maybe at the end of their day or the beginning of their day, but they'll also complete or watch lectures during lunch breaks, in line at the grocery store. I mean, really, when they are commuting to and from work. So you really have kind of a lot of flexibility when to listen to your course content. And in addition to that content, within online classes, doesn't faculty host live synchronous office
Oh,
hours
yeah.
all the
Every
time?
week, typically a faculty will have office hours where you can, via the web, you can chat with the instructor. And a lot of times they'll post discussion topics and they want all the students in the class to weigh in on a particular problem or topic.
Hmm. Hmm. So that's really wonderful too. If you want the opportunity to talk with your instructor uh, live, you do have that opportunity once a week to do that. And those office hours are not required, correct, Dr. Charles? So that if you miss
Uh,
them, they'll be
for
recorded.
most courses, they're not required. Some instructors say that, part of the instructional process is to have the direct interaction with the instructor. So some instructors say they're pretty much mandatory, unless, just like coming to a class, unless you have some interesting reason why you do not attend. But for the most part, they're at your choice.
Okay. All right. Wonderful, wonderful. All right, thanks. Great question. All right, next question. Uh, uh, this is a great question. If a student earns a master's, the master's or the postmaster's certificate, what are the broad steps to a PhD?
We get this kind of question a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What's my master's going to do for me if I want a PhD, or if I have a master's, how do I go about getting a PhD? There's no magic answer to that. The straightforward answer is that first of all, you have to identify the PhD program, which school, what department, and actually what kind of research activity you might like to pursue. You then need to get admitted to the university and into the graduate program. Then you work with an advisor to decide how many courses you take. If you already have a master's, your required course load in your PhD studies should be minimal, or it should at least go down from what is normally required. Then you and your advisor need to pick a thesis topic, and and you have to work on that and bring it to some kind of equitable conclusion over a 2-3 year period. But there's no magic answer on how you get your PhD other than to know what you want to do, find a school that has the program you want, find an advisor, and then get admitted to the program.
Sure. Sure. So the thing that I'll kind of add here as well is that just kind of what you said, Dr. Charles. Each school has a different kind of set of requirements for their PhD programs. Not all of them require uh, a master's degree where a student has completed a master's thesis. Um, things of that nature, correct?
That's correct. Some schools you can go in right after your undergraduate degree, right into a PhD program. But then you're going to do the equivalent of a master's worth of courses anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And so, coming in with a master's should shorten the overall process.
Sure, sure. Now, I mean, if a student wanted to complete a project or a master's thesis as part of this project, is there an option for students to do that?
Right now, we're not offering a master's thesis in applied physics. We do have a project-based course where you can do an independent project. We also have just directed study courses, and we will be adopting a thesis option in the not too distant future. So,
All right, wonderful, wonderful. There is another kind of question along the same vein, but I'll quickly answer another question that's popped up. Will the PowerPoint slides be available somewhere? We are actually recording today's presentation, and so in a few days afterwards, we will email you the recording. So yes, you will have access to it after today. So this next question that is related to what we were previously discussing, will there eventually be a PhD degree offered by this program? Um, yes. What are your, would Hopkins, I know that in terms of online and part-time study, the Whiting School is working on developing a general doctorate of engineering program that would be more professionally oriented um, to to help working professionals obtain a doctorate credential. It's different. It would be different from a PhD because a PhD is focused on kind of research. Dr. Charles, what are your if a student was interested in applied physics related research? I mean, Johns Hopkins does offer a wide variety of PhD offerings.
Yes, yes, and we're working on as Charles said, a Doctor of Engineering, which is more of a professional degree compared to the PhD, which is more of a research-based degree.
Mm-hmm.
Again, the issue becomes, are you going to be a full-time student? Do you want to be a part-time student? In other words, only attend seminar and a few other basic things on campus, and then do your research somewhere else. There's a whole bunch of options at Hopkins for doing this. The Doctor of Engineering program should hopefully streamline the mechanics a little bit of doing this, but it's being proposed and it's in the process of being approved in the Whiting schools. So we should know more about it next year. And I say next year, meaning first quarter or so of next year.
This question right here, great question. I have a friend overseas who is interested in applying as an international student. Is the tuition the same for international students? Yes. That $4,055 a course number that I discussed earlier is a flat tuition rate. It is the same tuition rate whether you are, a resident of Maryland, residing in the United States, prior military, or an international student. It's all the same tuition rate. So, all right. Well, Dr. Charles, it looks like we've answered everyone's questions for today. Thank you so very much for your time this evening, and thank you for all of this great information.
Yeah, and thanks to the students, the prospective students, for participating.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, everyone, have a pleasant evening, and we look forward to reviewing your applications.